Shalom. I want to give all the praise and all the glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also, I want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, I'm just going to go into a little bit of history in the book of Kings, 1 Kings, 21st chapter, verse 1. I'll go ahead and start it out. It says, "And it came to pass after these things that Naboth the Jezreelite had a vineyard which was in Jezreel, hard by the palace of Ahab king of Samaria." So Ahab was king of Samaria, but what it was is he was the northern kingdom king. Okay, so he was an Israelite, wicked king of Israel. It says, "And Ahab spake unto Naboth, saying, Give me thy vineyard, that I may have it for a garden of herbs, because it is near unto my house, and I will give thee for it a better vineyard than it, or if it seem good to thee, I will give thee the worth of it in money." So he's giving him a proposition. Ahab wanted to buy Naboth's vineyard, right? And what did Naboth? He did the honorable thing, as we read here in verse 3. It says, "And Naboth said to Ahab, Yahweh forbid it me that I should give the inheritance of my fathers unto thee." Right, because that vineyard was an inheritance of his forefathers. So, it's honorable to keep that. Verse 4. "And Ahab came into his house heavy and displeased because of the word which Naboth the Jezreelite had spoken to him, and he had said, I will not give thee an inheritance of my fathers. And he laid him down upon his bed and turned away his face and would eat no bread." So, let me see. So Ahab went home, and he was looking all sad because he didn't get what he wanted, right? And he had his wife who was wicked as hell, Jezebel, right? People are always talking about the Jezebel spirit, the woman with that Jezebel spirit. And why? Because this bitch is wicked as hell. So anyway, let's read verse 5. "But Jezebel, his wife," so he's at home, I don't want to eat, just basically pitching a bitch, right? King Ahab, all down and out because Naboth didn't accept his proposition. So we read 5. "But Jezebel his wife came to him and said unto him, Why is thy spirit so sad that thou eatest no bread? And he said unto her, Because I spake unto Naboth the Jezreelite, and said unto him, Give me thy vineyard for money, or else, if it please thee, I will give thee another vineyard for it. And he answered, I will not give thee my vineyard." So he told her what happened. He told her he got turned down by Naboth, right? Verse 7. "And Jezebel his wife said unto him, Dost thou not govern the kingdom of Israel? Arise and eat bread, and let thine heart be merry. I will give thee the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite." So you know what I mean? She was a powerful woman, and she was a wicked-ass woman. And she's like telling him, just chill. I'm about to get you that vineyard. She's about to do it in a wicked fashion, right? Because that's that spirit of that Jezebel. Really quick, let me see. Actually, no, I'll just keep reading. And it says in verse 8, "So she wrote letters in Ahab's name and sealed them with his seal, and sent the letters unto the elders and to the nobles that were in his city, dwelling with Naboth. And she wrote in the letters, saying, Proclaim a fast, and set Naboth on high among the people, and set 2 men, sons of Belial, before him." So anytime you start fucking with the sons of Belial, some bad shit's about to happen. Because those are, basically sons of Baal, sons of the wicked. And for this bitch to have those type of connections, with wicked men and setting them against Naboth, she's shows you her wickedness. And like I say, she was comforting her wicked king Ahab of northern kingdom Israel, telling him, hey, I got you. We about to get you this vineyard. So this is how she does it. She does this in wickedness. Oh yeah, that was the verse I was going to get. Let me get this really quick. In Ecclesiasticus. You know, women be doing these things all the time, setting men up. You got a lot of men who have been killed because a woman set them up. Ecclesiastes 25:19. It says, all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. All right. So when you think about that verse, all wickedness is little, but compared to a wickedness of a woman, because you got to think about how wicked this place is. It's wicked as hell. But ain't none of the wickedness in the world compared to the wickedness of a woman. See? But anyway, let's go back to 1 Kings 21. I'm at verse 10. And set two men, sons of Belial, before him to bear witness against him, saying, thou didst blaspheme the Most High and the king, and then carry him out and stone him that he may die. And the men of his city, even the elders and the nobles who were inhabitants in this city, did as Jezebel had said unto them, sent unto them. And as it was written in the letters which he had sent, excuse me, sent unto them, they proclaimed a fast and set Naboth on high among the people. And there came in two men, children of Belial, and sat before him, and the men of Belial witnessed against him, even against Naboth, in the presence of the people, saying, Naboth did blaspheme the Most High and the king. Then they carried him forth out of the city and stoned him with the stones that he died. So she basically called a hit on him, and it was manifested. It was it went forth. So Naboth was stoned. Remember, she did this so she can get Ahab that vineyard. Verse 14. Then they sent to Jezebel, saying, Naboth is stoned and is dead. And it came to pass, when Jezebel heard that Naboth was stoned and was dead, that Jezebel said to Ahab, arise, take possession of the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite, which he refused to give thee for money, for Naboth is not alive, but dead. Right? Now she's in her wickedness, in her because you got to remember, she's the queen. She's basically the queen, right? The wife of the king. She's got a high position, and you know how you can see it in some of these women in nowadays that have these high positions. They just scandalous as hell, doing people dirty. Not caring about what they destroy. If you get in their warpath, these wicked ass women. That it's a plague. Our women are a plague to us in this day. But let's keep reading. Verse 17. And the word, so guess what happens? All this wickedness happens. Guess what Yahweh does? He comes to his prophets, and then he starts to regulate. That's how Yahweh works, man. Things start to go crazy. Then Yahweh sets up his prophets and tells you what's about to go down, right? Verse 17. And the word of Yahweh came to Elijah the Tishbite, saying, arise, go down and meet Ahab, king of Israel, which is in Samaria. Behold, he is in the vineyard of Naboth, whither he has gone down to possess it. Right? So now Yahweh's like, all right, he saw what happened. Kind of reminds you of that story of when King David and Bathsheba, right? So you got Elijah the prophet, right? Yahweh comes to him and says, hey, you're gonna have to come and let this dude know what's up. I'm about to put some judgment on him for the wicked thing he did here, right? Let's read it. Verse 19. And thou shalt speak unto him, saying, thus saith Yahweh, hast thou killed and also taken possession? And thou shalt speak unto him, saying, thus saith Yahweh, in the place where dogs lick the blood of Naboth, shall dogs lick thy blood, even thine. Right? So Yahweh's like, hey, go let this motherfucker know that the same place where these dogs licked Naboth's blood, where he got stoned, it's going to happen to you too, right? Paybacks are a bitch, right? Verse 20. And Ahab said to Elijah, hast thou found me, O mine enemy? And he answered, I have found thee, because thou hast sold thyself to work evil in the sight of Yahweh. Right? So the prophet Elijah is like, hey, I'm here because Yahweh sent me here. And what you did, right? Verse 21. Behold, I will bring evil upon thee and will take away thy posterity. Posterity is like your bloodline, your people, your descendants. And will cut off from Ahab him that pisseth against the wall, and him that shut up and left in Israel. Basically, he's going to cut him off among all the people, for even the the one who's pissing against the wall, who's regarded as nobody, right? Verse 22. And I will make thine house like the house of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, and like the house of Baasha the son of Ahijah, for the provocation wherewith thou hast provoked me to anger, and made Israel to sin. And of Jezebel also spake Yahweh, saying, the dog shall eat Jezebel by the wall of Jezreel. So you see, when these women are getting out of line, they're being wicked, especially when they're wicked against the man of the Lord. Guess what? Yahweh's going to put judgment on these type of women. You got a wicked ass woman in your life. She's tormenting you, And then when you're able to shake that scorpion, then guess what? Yahweh's going to judge that woman. Just like he did, and he spake on it. He said, look, I'm going to put this, the dog's going to eat Jezebel. That's a crazy judgment. Him that dieth of Ahab in the city of the dogs shall eat, and him that dieth in the field shall the fowls of the air eat. Right, so he's telling the judgment that's going to come upon him. Verse 25. But there was none like unto Ahab, which did sell himself to work wickedness in the sight of Yahweh, whom Jezebel his wife stirred up. You see that? So her wicked ass was stirring him up to the point where he took Naboth out. Because, that's the wickedness of a woman. Because you got to remember, when Ahab got home, when his proposition was rejected, he wasn't really thinking like, oh, I'm going to go kill Naboth now. But that came from the woman. That came from Jezebel's wicked ass, right? Verse 26. And he did very abominably in following idols, according to all the things as did the Amorites, whom Yahweh cast out before the sons of Israel. So Ahab was wicked in all kind of ways, and that's why there's a verse that says a wicked man will have a wicked wife, right? So, and then a blessed, righteous man will have a righteous wife. So, if you have a, honestly, I was in that position where I felt like I was with a wicked woman, and that verse cut me, and I had to shake that demon, So the man who has a wicked woman, the sinner, the scripture says the sinner can't let her go, but the righteous man can get away from her, can get away from that trap, right? Verse 27. And it came to pass when Ahab heard those words that he rent his clothes and put sackcloth upon his flesh and fasted and lay in sackcloth and went softly. And the word of Yahweh came to Elijah the Tishbite, saying, seest thou how Ahab humbleth himself before me? Because he humbleth himself before me, I will not bring the evil in his days, but in his son's days will I bring upon the evil of his house. You see? And so this is proof too, because people get upset, like, oh, what did I do? What did I do? How did I, like, what sin did I do that brought all this problems on me? See, you gotta understand, Yahweh is cold, man. Sometimes you're paying for sins of your fathers. You're paying for sins of your past lives. You see, and this is proof right here. You think people are good, and you'll be like, oh, well, why are bad things happening to these good people? Well, you don't take into account that they're paying for some of their own parents' sins or their own sins from their past lives. You see. But I didn't want to go into the prophecy that was fulfilled against that wicked ass bitch Jezebel. 2 Kings and I'll go in on her death, because it came to pass, like Yahweh said, that she would die and the dogs would eat her flesh. Let's read about her death, and then I'll close out. This is 2 Kings 9:30. It says, and when Jehu was come to Jezreel, Jezebel heard of it, and she painted her face and tied her head and looked out at a window. And as Jehu entered in at the gate, she said, had Zimri peace, who slew his master? And he lifted up his face to the window and said, who is on my side? Who? And there looked at him 2 or 3 eunuchs. And he said, throw her down. So they threw her down, and some of her blood was sprinkled on the wall and on the horses, and he trod her underfoot. So she got stomped out by some horses after she fell out, was thrown out the window. It was probably at least 3 stories high, right? Because we have laws on how high our buildings could be. Verse 34, we're not like Esau, building up skyscrapers. Those are against the laws, right? Verse 34, and when he was come in, he did eat and drink, and said, go see now this cursed woman, and bury her, for she is a king's daughter. And they went to bury her, but they found no more of her than the skull and the feet and the palms of her hands. Wherefore they came again and told him that he said, this is the word of Yahweh, which he spake by his servant Elijah the Tishbite, saying, in the portion of Jezreel shall dogs eat the flesh of Jezebel. And the carcass of Jezebel shall be as dung upon the face of the field in the portion of Jezreel, so that they shall not say, this is Jezebel. So the Most High fucked her up, man. And rightfully so. Let her have the portion. Let her die the portion of a sinner, like we read in that scripture in Ecclesiasticus 25. But it shows you. This just shows you, when I like to read the history. We do prophecy is the main thing we do here, but sometimes it's just good to go into the history, because you get to get examples and see things how Yahweh handled his prophets, and how he sent judgment on these people. And these are Israelites, right? Well, Jezebel is not an Israelite, but Ahab was. All right, he just married outside of Israel, because I think Jezebel was the daughter of Tyre, the king of Tyre, so she probably was a Hamite. But just wanted to go in on that through the Spirit. A little bit of history, a little bit of things written aforetime for our learning, right? As it's written. So I hope the lesson was edifying. I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also, when I acknowledge the Akim, who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the 4 corners of the earth. Shalom to the elect.